When we talk about World War II, it certainly cannot be separated from the gunfire and killings between opposing forces. During the war, millions of people lost their lives defending their countries, and there were numerous war casualties that are difficult to count precisely. However, Desmond Doss, like a hero, appeared on the battlefield to provide hope for many soldiers. Desmond Doss was a brave corporal in the United States Army, serving as a medic in an infantry company during World War II. He was born in 1919 in the state of Virginia and was raised with strong beliefs in the Bible and the Ten Commandments. Additionally, Desmond Doss was a devoted Seventh-day Adventist. He held strong convictions against killing and firmly believed in nonviolence. Despite World War II being underway, Desmond Doss believed in the justice of war and wanted to do his part, but his conscience told him that war meant saving lives, not taking them. With this attitude and conviction, Doss became known as a conscientious cooperator. On December 7, 1941, the United States entered the war after Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. At that time, Doss was working as a carpenter at the Newport News shipyard in Virginia. He could have requested a military deferment due to his shipyard job, but he remained determined to join the U.S. Army on April 1, 1942, as he wanted to fulfill his duty as a patriotic citizen. Before entering actual combat, Doss had to undergo basic training. However, due to his strong religious beliefs, he intended not to kill anyone and refused to carry a weapon. Additionally, besides abstaining from killing, another religious requirement he took seriously was attending church services every week. Doss requested permission to attend church every Saturday. With these two reasons deemed disruptive enough, during training, Doss faced several intimidations from fellow soldiers and commanders. He endured verbal abuse and threats like, "Doss, when we go into battle, I'll make sure you don't come back alive." Moreover, some of them wanted Doss to be discharged from the unit, considering him a coward and weak. Doss also faced painful pressures, such as being pelted with boots or other objects while praying. Furthermore, because Doss was considered too bothersome, the commanding officer at the time initiated Doss's discharge on grounds of mental illness, but higher authorities rejected it, stating that discharge couldn't be done for religious reasons. Despite receiving unfavorable treatment from his peers and superiors, Doss did not harbor any resentment. Desmond Doss was assigned to the 307th Infantry Unit, 77th Division, as a medic due to his refusal to carry weapons and take lives. Although Doss is well known for his actions in Okinawa, the bloody battle there was not his first experience. The Battle of Guam from July 21 to August 10, 1944, marked Doss's first presence in the war theater. During this time, the U.S. planned to retake Guam from Japanese forces. The 77th Division landed on Guam in July 1944. Those who threatened to kill Doss during training quickly realized the importance of having a medic who carried the Bible. For his bravery in tending to the wounded under fire during the Battle of Guam, Doss was awarded the Bronze Star. After Guam, the 307th Division then fought in Leyte, the Philippines. The Battle of Leyte from October 23 to 26, 1944, was one of the largest naval battles in World War II, involving over 200,000 naval personnel. Once again, Doss demonstrated his dedication to his injured comrades and was awarded a second Bronze Star for his courage in battle. In every military operation, Doss consistently showed extraordinary dedication to his fellow soldiers. While others took lives, he was busy saving them. When the cry for medic was heard on the battlefield, he never thought of his own safety. He repeatedly braved the heat of battle to care for fallen comrades and carry them to safety. Additionally, Doss often found himself close to the enemy defense lines and would often hear the whispers of Japanese soldiers. In May 1945, Japan stubbornly refused to surrender, even though Germany and Italy had been defeated. The 307th Infantry Regiment moved to the front lines in Okinawa on April 29. The Okinawa campaign aimed to secure the island due to its proximity to mainland Japan, making it easier for the United States to invade Japan. After the battles in Guam and Leyte, people's perception of Doss had completely changed. His contributions in the previous two battles earned him great respect. The 77th Division was tasked with assaulting the Japanese defenses on a 400-foot cliff known as Hacksaw Ridge. The Japanese had spent years fortifying this defense and creating a labyrinth of tunnels on the hill. Company A, assigned to climb the cliff, was almost decimated by Japanese forces and ordered to retreat. Then, the remaining soldiers of Company A, those still able to fight, were merged with Company B, including Desmond Doss. The combined company climbed the cargo nets on May 2nd. For days, the U.S. forces endured heavy attacks from the entrenched Japanese on the cliff. Here, Doss showed extraordinary dedication, refusing to take cover from the hail of bullets and continued to try to save his fellow soldiers. On the first day of the battle, Doss repeatedly braved intense rifle and mortar fire to save a wounded man more than 200 yards from the cliff's front line. Then, 2 days later, on May 4th, he was involved in an assault on a strong enemy cave to care for 4 wounded soldiers during the attack. Without carrying any weapons, Doss continued to be showered with high-explosive grenades. With great courage, Doss slowly advanced through the grenade rain and managed to reach a point only 8 yards from the enemy's position at the cave entrance. There, he treated his severely wounded comrades. However, before eventually rescuing them in 4 separate trips, Doss continued to endure enemy fire raining down on them. On May 5, 1945, the battle intensified to the point where everyone was ordered to retreat. However, Doss disregarded the order. About 75 soldiers were estimated to be stranded on the cliff, unable to retreat due to severe injuries. Doss was determined to save them all and refused to leave the wounded behind. Alone on the cliff, Doss stealthily avoided contact with Japanese soldiers and brought them to the cliff's edge. It is estimated that Desmond Doss successfully saved 75 trapped soldiers on the cliff's peak by lowering them using special knots tied to a tree. He miraculously remained unharmed during the struggle with Company B. While saving his comrades, Doss continued to pray to God, begging to save one more person until all the wounded were rescued. After spending several days saving his injured comrades, Doss suffered serious injuries to his leg and hip. He was hit by a Japanese grenade that landed near his foot, causing continuous bleeding. As the enemy threw grenades, Doss instinctively placed his foot on one, and when it exploded, he was hit by 17 grenade fragments, causing him to be thrown. In that wounded condition, Doss was trapped in a trench for 5 hours, with blood flowing continuously from his body. While trying to find a safe place to treat his wounds, Doss was once again hit by a Japanese sniper bullet, shattering his arm. Despite the incredible pain, Doss continued to try to save others before himself. He put the lives of others above his own safety. Doss even chose to die so that others could live because that's what he read in his Bible. Considering the severity of his injuries, Doss was finally sent home at the end of May aboard the USS Mercy. Before leaving the Army in 1946, Desmond suffered from the tuberculosis he contracted during the Battle of Leyte. He spent the next 6 years in hospitals, and as his condition worsened, his left lung had to be removed through surgery, along with 5 of his ribs. On October 12, 1945, President Harry S. Truman awarded Doss the Medal of Honor in a ceremony at the White House lawn. Truman shook hands with Doss and said to him, "I'm proud of you. You really deserve this award. To me, it's a greater honor than being president." Regarding the award, Doss said, "I feel that I got the Medal of Honor because of the golden rule that's written in Matthew 7 verse 12. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." After receiving extended medical treatment, an antibiotic overdose left Doss completely deaf in 1976. However, he later regained his hearing after receiving a cochlear implant in 1988. Throughout the rest of his life, Doss lived with one lung until he reached the age of 87. Despite his severe injuries, he successfully raised a family on a small farm in Rising Fawn, Georgia. Corporal Desmond Thomas Doss passed away on March 23, 2006, after being treated at the hospital for breathing difficulties. He was buried at the National Cemetery in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Now, the memory of Desmond Doss's heroism in war is immortalized in a film titled Hacksaw Ridge, released in 2016 and portrayed by actor Andrew Garfield. That concludes the impressive story of the American hero named Desmond Doss. Thank you for watching, and if there are any mistakes, please correct them in the comments.